Said something, and I'm going to chase her down. I want her to say it again. Say it again.
I said she must have known me from somewhere to have picked out two things that are so special to me.
There you go. Well, Mom just come in here, and Mom got 2 packages. Those are Mom's.
I got 2 packs. Oh,
yes.
goodness.
It says Mama Pat on it. Let me sit this over here. Maybe. Here, I'll come over here and open it, and then you can open it from there.
Okay.
Let's get it from this side. Mama Pat. I was like, well, whose are these 2? So I looked at it and it says Mama Pat. And I'm like, okay. Alright, there's your first one.
Through Amazon. Annie Oakley. Oh, isn't she cute?
Annie Oakley, Mommy. There's what it looks like.
Isn't she cute?
Yeah, she's got a smile on her face, don't she, Mom?
Yeah. I understand she was rather rugged looking. She wasn't that attractive. They painted her pictures up in the displays and all to make her look like a glamour girl, but she really wasn't. But they said she had a great personality.
Says, hi, Mom Pat. I saw this and thought of you. Sure hope you know how special and loved you are. You are a star. Big hugs and lots of love. Gwen.
Thank you, Gwen. Okay, you sent me an Annie Oakley, so I got to tell you an Annie Oakley story about me. My husband and I lived in Ohio, and we traded quite a bit at this one store. A sparkle hat. Okay, and I'll tell you one about a sparkling hat. Ooh, am I there?
I don't know if you can or not. We're going to get you up there. There you go. We'll get you closer. That's pretty good on her, don't it?
I like this.
Alrighty. Alright, now tell your story.
Okay. My husband and I traded a lot at this one store. And I had 6 children. I think I've told you. So I did a lot of washing. So when I ordered my washing machine and dryer from this one company, I said, I want my washing machine, if I put a dozen sheets in it, this washing machine's not going to fail me. And the dryer's not going to fail me, because I'll take what's in the washer and put it in the dryer. I don't generally break them down. I just don't bother doing that. So they said, well, we're going to send them back to the factory and have them reinforced so you won't have to worry about it. I said, I'd appreciate it. I realize it's going to cost me a little more, but it'll save me in the long run because I won't have to keep having it fixed, because otherwise I would. Well, I went on out to the car, ready for my husband to take us home. And he came out in a minute and he said, honey, he said, you didn't see something in there. I want you to come and see it. I think you would like it. So he took me back in there and he showed me this 30-30 Winchester Golden Spike. I said, boy, that is a pretty rifle, but as much as we've just spent here, I don't think we need to buy that. He said, but honey, I know you would enjoy this. And you could practice your gunmanship. I've never heard it called that before, but okay. So finally it dawned on me. He really wanted it, but he wouldn't spend the money on himself, but he would on me, and then he would by default half part of the gun. So I said, you know, you are right. That is pretty. Look at the handwork on it and the carving and the it's just really a beautiful. I would like to have it. So we went out of there with that. Well, one of his nephews had gotten drafted into the Army, and he applied for sharpshooting, even though he knew almost nothing about a gun. Well, he figured his Uncle Tommy would teach him. Okay. So we went down into Covington County in Georgia, and we went down on some of my family's farm, and they had places set up where you could shoot. It was posted for 2 miles in every direction. Be careful here. Stray shots could come because there's a firing range that way. So we figured it was safe. We drove around and blew the horns to alert people that we was going to be shooting. That's just what everybody did. If you heard somebody just drive around blowing the horn, somebody was going to be shooting a gun. So we went over to the range, and Tom gave him some empty gun instruction and showed him how to aim so he could hit what he was aiming at, supposedly, hopefully. And then he put 2 shots in the rifle. He said, now you've got 2 bullets in there. Try your best to shoot what you're aiming at. He said, then we'll put you 2 more in. That way people will know there's going to be 2 shots coming. Because that's what I tapped out on the horn. I tapped it out 2 times, and 2 times, and 2 times, and 2 times. And then a whole bunch of blasts. So then we'll fill your rifle up and you'll just shoot it. Okay. So, this is a farming community, and everybody knows what all the signals are. And Tom had learned them real carefully. And of course I knew them because I went down there in the summer and played at picking cotton and whatever was growing. And I learned to churn and milk cows and collect eggs so the chickens didn't bite me. That was my terror of the chickens pecking me around my face, because they'll come up and they'll peck you on your cheeks, and that hurts. Even if they don't open their beak and close it on you as they're pecking. If they just do that, it hurts. So I had a all-around childhood growing up. A lot of experiences with different things. Riding horses, riding cows. I even learned to ride pigs. A 350-pound pig is hard to hold on to, even if it's got a harness on it.
Now, you want to know who gave it to you?
Yeah.
Okay, it says, "Hi, Mom. Hope you like your hat. Can't wait to see you model it. Love you, from Gwen."
Thank you, Gwen. And this is from
Gwen too. Both of them are from Gwen.
Okay. So, back to the store where he was convincing me that I wanted the gun. Well, we had taken his nephew down to the farm, and Tom done all that, showing him carefully how to handle the gun and everything. So, poor little Jed, he wasn't following Tom's directions very much at all. I don't know how they drafted him in, because he just had his 17th birthday. But he was in the ROTC, so I guess that's what they put him in, as a low officer. I don't know what they were called, but it's past private first class, because he was private first class over 2 years before that in the ROTC. So he went into the service with rank. So he finally, Tom just loaded the gun and gave it to him, because he was doing pretty good, but he just wasn't, he was afraid of it. Well, I kept saying, now I want to have a turn. We bought enough bullets so I could have a turn. And they were just shooting away and shooting away. I said, I want enough to fill the rifle one time. Put them in my hand now. I said, there's not going to be any more shooting if I don't have my bullets. Well, Tom finally counted out, and he counted them out to me, enough to fill the rifle one time. And I put them in my pocket. I said, okay, now I'm going to go sit over here. Y'all go ahead and have your fun. Well, after they had shot all the rest of the bullets up, I went over and I said, okay, now it's my turn. Do you want to load it for me, or do you want me to load it? He said, you know how to load it. So I took it and I broke it down, cleaned the barrel. It has a little rod that goes underneath the barrel, and you screw it in when you put it in. And then you unscrew it and take it back out, and you run it down in the barrel, and it has a fuzzy thing on the end that cleans the barrel out. So I cleaned the barrel out and I put the bullets in. And I laid the rifle part, the barrel of it in my hand, and held it beside me and aimed it down at the ground. And the stock was back under my arm. That's the way you carry a loaded rifle, because your hand's nowhere around the trigger or anything where it would shoot it. And you've got it aimed down at the ground. If you did happen to shoot it, it would shoot into the ground. So I said, okay, it's my turn. I'm going to shoot. And I walked up to where you got behind the bar to shoot. And they had all kind of bottles set up on the fence. So I just stepped back from the bar and raised it and put it against my shoulder. And I went, bam, bam, bam. I said, oh, heck with that stuff. So I lowered the rifle and I raised it up again. And I didn't aim at it. I just went bam, 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 bam. Shot every one of them. Every bullet went into a bottle and broke it. She says, Uncle Tommy, I hate to tell you this, but maybe we should have started with her giving lessons. I said, well, come on over here, honey, and I'll give you a couple of actual lessons. He came over and he said, but these are your bullets. I said, that's all right. I said, I knew I was going to show you a couple things. I said, don't aim this gun anywhere close to me or Tom or anybody else. Keep it aimed at those bottles. Now, I said, look down the barrel at those bottles. I said, don't try to aim at them. I said, but just look down the barrel and see how close they are to the end of your gun. They're close to the end of your gun. If you shoot at one of them, you're going to hit it. In fact, if you did this, you'd knock them down. And I put my hand out and acted like I was hitting a bottle. He said, you know, you're right. He said, how did I miss them from that? I said, you were working at it. You don't work at shooting a gun. It's a natural fact or it's not a fact at all. I said, yeah. Now just lift it and draw a bead on that. Don't aim at it. Just draw a bead on it. That means you go pick, bang. He did. He shot it. Well, he shot 4 more of them. He was having a good time. Look, Tommy. Look, Uncle Tommy. I'm a-hitting them. Pat showed me how. I said, well, it's all of what Tom showed you plus what I've showed you. I've just told you to relax. You're gonna shoot it. You've almost got to, because you're within slapping distance of it. He said, well, maybe you just relax me more on it. Because I saw how you shot, and he said, you went boom, boom, boom. You didn't crouch down and do all that other stuff. I said, no, and you're not going to do it when you get on the firing range either. He said, no, I've never seen anybody do anything like that on the firing range. I said, so you know that you don't do that on the firing range, and you're not going to do it here. You're just going to raise the gun and shoot. He said, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to raise the gun and shoot. Is that the shirt you made this morning?
Last night.
Last
on
night.
Live stream. On live stream.
That is cute as it can be.
We went to get some stuff for the animals, for fleas and all. And here, I don't know if they can see the shirt or not. And we were going to go by the fabric store and get me some kind of fabric for this to make a pair of shorts out of it. And they had you get them a whole bag for $1. So this is what I got. This one right here will go with it. I don't know if they can see it or not. Or this one right here will go with it. And these other ones I bought too, this right here is like a blue jean material. I figured I'd try to make a pair of pants out of it. There's 3 of them. I'm hoping there's enough there. And then I bought this white. And it rolls up, so I don't know.
It's kind of like a t-shirt. It'll have a certain amount of stretch to it.
Yeah. So that gives us some there. Alright, I'm going to load this up for y'all to see it. And I hope she enjoys that Annie Oakley.
Oh, I will.
Oh, I know you will. Alright, say bye, Mom. You wasn't through.
No, I told him about.
Oh, you want? Okay, go for it then.
I was telling him about.
All right, but you're up to 17 minutes.
Okay, I'll make it quick.
Yep.
So Tom had told a bunch of his friends about buying me this gun, and he told them, she's a good shot. He said, I'm not going to make her mad at me while we own a gun. So they all took him at his word. Well, we went to the firing range, which we've been to it before with other people that had guns, and I'd get to shoot some. But this was the first time I had my own gun. So he said, Pat, you see that can laying just right at the top of the hill there? I said, no, I don't see it. He said, it's right where the hill bumps over. He said, watch, when this plane comes over, it will flash, but don't shoot at it then. You can't shoot while there's a plane flying anywhere in the area. I said, well, that makes sense, because if you happen to hit a rock, it could ricochet and go a long way up. I said, yeah. So I waited until the plane went over and it flashed the can. And Tom told his friends that were standing close by. Most of them were back over at the place where you went in and got your shoes cleaned up and all, where you'd been walking in the mud before you got in your car. And I didn't know they was the 2 or 3 that was there with us. They just walked in and started talking to us, you know. Well, I knew that Tom had told some of them because they were there. But I didn't know he told the whole plant. And I said, all right, y'all get over here behind me. I'm not shooting while you're out there in front of me. So they came over and stood behind me. And I just raised it up and I went bang and shot the can. And I shot it 3 more times before it fell to the bottom of the hill. It was a pretty good sized hill, so it was a good many bounces bouncing down. And when it landed at the bottom, it landed in a big puddle of water. And one of the guys says, it's hard to shoot a can out of water. I said, it sure is. I said, I wonder if I can. Well, I shot it down at the edge of the can, and the can just shot right out of the puddle.
Hush! Get in there and hush!
It's like somebody had taken a stick and hit it up on it. And they're standing there making fun with Tom. Well, Tom, you can't do that. He said, I wouldn't try. He said, she was taught to shoot by a policeman. And she was told, when you start to pull the trigger, make sure you're shooting something. Okay. And I was told by the policeman, because I had to walk under the, I don't know whether any of y'all know about the Atlanta area, but near the Capitol is Grady Hospital. And I had to go to Grady Hospital at least once a week for about 3 months. Either me or one of my brothers had to go. And I always took them because Mother worked. She worked 6 hours a day, 10 hours a day at a drugstore in downtown Atlanta. So Grandpa was worried about me walking under the underpass because there had been somebody down there attacking young people, young children. And I was only like 13. And
Will you hang this for me?
he told this policeman that he knew pretty good. He said, I'm going to tell my granddaughter that you're going to come and get her and you're going to take her shooting. And she's to listen to what you say. He came by the house a couple of days later and he said, you're Pat. He said, I've seen you up around the Capitol. He said, yeah, I've seen you too. My grandpa thinks pretty highly of you. He told me you was going to come by and take me shooting. He said, yes, I'm going to teach you to shoot. Not just pose so they can take a good picture of you holding a rifle or a pistol. And he said, I brought you a gift. And I have to stop and think, which is the gun and which is the bad guy, a Dellinger or a Derringer. Dillinger was the crook, bad guy. A Derringer is a small pistol. It fits right in my hand. Put my finger on the trigger, lay my thumb on top of it, and it's on the trigger, the safety. So he said, when you're walking from y'all's apartment to the hospital, he said, you keep this in your hand. Don't put it in your back pocket where you have to reach around behind you to get it. And he said, hold it in your hand and hold it like this. And he showed me how to hold my finger on the trigger. And well, to put 2 fingers down like this, and this finger's on the trigger. He said, now that's not usually the finger you will shoot with, but you will learn to shoot with that finger. And he said, when you're walking under that underpass, if you feel threatened, he said, you don't stop and look around. He said, you raise that gun, and you have it in your hand like this, and you have this finger here on the trigger. And he said, when you raise that pistol, you pull the trigger, He said, you don't have to shoot anybody. Just the bang will be enough to get them. They will run. Because they'll know you've got a gun and you're going to shoot it. And they're not going to fool with you. And he said, I better not hear of you going down through there and not having that pistol in your hand. He said, the other officers are going to watch for you. If I shoot somebody, though, what's going to happen? He said, not a thing, because you're not going to shoot unless you feel threatened. And that's close enough. So, it happened the next day. I had to take my youngest brother, Daryl, back down to the hospital. And as I was walking, I saw this man up ahead of us under the underpass. And he stepped back and turned to the side before just as we were getting under the underpass and close to him.
Okay.
And so I took Daryl's hand and reached him across to the other side and put him on my non-gun hand. So when we got just up to the man steps out right in front of me. And when he stepped out, I just went bang. I didn't look at what was there. I just went bang, like the officer told me to. Well, blood flew everywhere. I shot the top of his ear off, and I thought I'd killed him. And a bunch of the officers came running out there and said, "Little girl, what are you doing here? You don't have any business being here with this shooting going on." I said, "But I said, you have no business being here. You get on down the road there, wherever you're going." They chased me down towards the hospital. They knew I was the one that had shot. They knew who I was and everything. But they didn't want me mixed up in it at all, because this guy, they'd been watching him for a long time. And they knew he was up to no good. So if he was dead, he was good riddance as far as the officers were concerned. So I went on down to the hospital, and they brought him in down there on a gurney. They took an ambulance up there and got him and brought him down. And top of his ear was blowed off. And the doctors were talking about it. What happened? He got the top of his ear shot off. He was trying to stab somebody and they shot him. So then I knew that I was right to have shot him, because he was fixing to stab me. But I really felt bad about it for a long time. And then they said, yeah,
That's two different colors.
Yeah.
Neat. Make one. I don't know. I hope it works out. We'll find out.
But with blue jean like that, it doesn't matter if you've got the right side and the wrong side out.
But anyway.
So anyway, the police got me out of that. They chased me away.
You having fun, Mom?
Yes.
Well.
So now then, about the shiny hat. About 4 years ago, my brother found out I had moved into an apartment where I wouldn't have I could not walk to the grocery store. It was too far. So he called me and he said, "Sis, how would you like my little blue van? How would I? Oh, Daryl. Oh, it just blew my mind, because I knew he loved this little blue van. He'd had it for about 8 years already. He'd sold it and bought it back and loaned it and took it back, because the person that borrowed it just didn't want to give it back. He just went and said, "I want my van. I've come to get it. Now give me my keys." So,
what's that got to do with the hat?
well, at the time, somebody had given me a baseball cap that was made out of sequin material. It had little tiny sequins all over the hat. And he and his wife took me down to the cavern. It's a cathedral cavern in Grant, Alabama. And the guide said, has anybody been in total, absolute zero darkness before? And nobody had. Nobody admitted to it anyway. He said it's darker than your darkest room when you turn the lights out and close your eyes. It's darker than that. So he said, I want everybody to step close to the rail and put one hand on it so that you'll not feel like you're getting dizzy and gonna fall. He said that'll give you stability. So that's what we all did. We got real close to the. It was like water pipes outlining where you stood.
Well, this is round. Wow.
So we were all standing there holding on. He said, I'm going to turn the lights out at the count of 5. He said, I'm turning the lights out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he turned out all the lights but one. It still wasn't completely dark, but it was dark. And we were all standing there. He said, now slowly I'm going to turn the lights on so you don't get blinded. And he started turning the lights on. And slowly he kept turning the lights up a little more and a little more. And then all at once there's these tiny, tiny little lights sparkling all inside the cavern. Up on the ceiling, on the walls, on the floors, and everywhere. And we're all looking around. Wow, that is so pretty. How did you do that? There had to be some brave people climbing around putting those little lights up. He said, nope, nobody's climbed up and put any lights up. He said, it's our brave people in here standing in the dark are contributing to that. Well, we were still looking around. But where's all that light coming from? He said, you. I said, I don't have any light. He said, but the light's coming from you. He said, folks, tell her where the light's coming from. And now everybody hollered, your hat. And I put my hand up over it and ran my hand back and forth over it. And sure enough, my hat was making all these beautiful sparkling lights all inside the cavern. It was really beautiful. And I went over and thanked him for showing us that. I said, that was really interesting. And he said, I appreciate you wearing your hat. That's what did it.
I don't know. I got it.
He said, he said, you're the first one that's had a hat or something on that I could do this and shine my light on you and reflect the lights. I said, well, I'm glad I was able to do it then.
Yeah. Would the one with the socks be okay?
Yep, it'll be okay. Here, put the socks in this right here. Box and that way.
Oh, with this Annie Oakley, did you notice it has a little mirror here? The reason they have that there is because she would take this rifle, and as you can see, she has it in her right hand, and she would lay it on her left, the barrel on her left shoulder, pick up the mirror, and look in the mirror, and aim down the barrel, and shoot targets. Sometimes it would be a feather on a post, sometimes it would be a bullseye target, whatever. She'd just shoot away, looking in the mirror. And there was one man who rode a horse with a target on a pole, and he would ride around in the arena, and she would shoot the target while he was riding around. And all she was doing was aiming in this little hand mirror. And that's why the mirror is in here. She ended up marrying the man that rode around with the target. They were married for quite a few years. I am very, very proud of this. I've never seen an Annie Oakley that looked like anything other than a fancy painting. This is beautiful. She was not an unattractive woman. She was very attractive, but she wasn't movie star pretty. She didn't wear makeup. And this is just really, really special. Somebody cared about Annie Oakley that made this statue. Annie Oakley was popular when Cochise was chief of the Cherokee.
Are you done? Okay. Alrighty.
I appreciate them so much.
Alright, say bye-bye.
Bye.
Alright, this quilt here, I am giving to Dalton, which is back there. So that's our quilt giveaway. This is how to donate to my PayPal. You come down here to Poor Man's Sewing, and you mash on Poor Man's Sewing. Then you go over here to About. You mash on About, and right here is to donate to Poor Man's Sewing. Thank you. I appreciate everything that is donated. It will go to the sewing shed that we are working on, or anything that you want me to put it on there, just leave a note on there and I will see what it says. And I really do appreciate you donating and watching my channel. A lot of hugs and kisses to you.